Bakersfield, California, Central Valley, June 2019. I was working out of a smaller shop off Highway 99 before I opened my current place, and I was on lunch break scrolling short-form video when I ran into a hack I'd seen probably 5 times that month already. Guy in a garage, dark hair, close-up of a brake pedal pad. Rubs a thin coat of Vaseline across the black rubber surface. Wipes it with a green microfiber. Pedal looks glossy, deep black, brand new. Voiceover, quote, "Restores your factory pedal grip in 30 seconds. 20,000+ likes. My Colorado was in the shop that afternoon. 2015 Chevy Colorado, 3.6-liter V6, 4-wheel drive, 78,000 miles on it. Pedals were original at 4 years old and had the shiny black wear pattern where the ball of your foot lands. Not damaged, just used. I thought, what's the harm?"
Grabbed a small tub of Vaseline from a waiting room drawer, rubbed a thin coat on the brake pedal pad, wiped it with a rag, went back to work. Around 4 p.m., a thunderstorm rolled in. Early monsoon season for the Central Valley. I left the shop at 5:15 to grab tacos on Ming Avenue. Boots wet from the parking lot. Coasted up to the signal at Ming and California Avenue, hit the brake pedal to stop. Foot slipped clean off the pedal. Full brake pressure went from what I was applying to 0 in about 1/10 of a second. The truck rolled forward another 8 to 10 feet before I could get my heel dropped and my foot back on the pedal. Missed the rear bumper of a metallic blue Buick LaCrosse by, I'm guessing, under 12 inches. Older gentleman driving it. He never noticed. Light turned green. He drove off. I sat there at that intersection with my heart hammering for 45 seconds before pulling into a strip mall parking lot on the northwest corner. Wiped the pedal with a shop rag I keep in the door pocket. Turned the truck off. Sat with my hands on the steering wheel and took a full inventory of what almost happened. If the Buick had been closer, say 5 feet closer to the intersection line, I'd have hit him. Probably not at high speed, but hard enough for at least a bumper repair on both cars and an insurance claim I didn't need. If somebody had been in the crosswalk instead of a Buick, same trajectory, different outcome. I sat there for another 2 minutes before I felt steady enough to drive. Restarted the truck, drove back to the shop, sprayed the pedal down with brake cleaner, wiped again, drove home carefully at 40 on surface streets. Next morning, I ordered an OEM brake pedal pad from Chevy Parts. $42, 3 days, snapped it into place. Total lesson. Under $50, plus about 10 years off my life at that intersection. 15 years of professional wrench turning under my belt, and I still fell for that hack based on 20,000 short-form likes. And techniques at about 17 minutes in. That's where I break down the simple 3-question filter I use to catch a bad hack before it costs me. Apply that filter and you don't need to memorize the 15 individual verdicts on this list. You'll catch the next 15 before they hit your car. And near the end, I'll give you the cost math on the 6 damaging hacks. Aggregate $2,500 to $8,000 over 3 or 4 years on a normal car if you apply them all the way the short-form videos suggest. 1 filter, 3 questions, beats the entire genre. 15 viral car hacks. Every single one worked for someone once. That's why they spread. But every one also broke someone's car or caused a near miss like mine, and that clip never makes it into the video. I've written repair bills over the last 5 years for probably 12 of the 15 top circulating hacks. 6 of those average between $100 and $2,000. 4 are genuinely good, save you real money. 5 are mixed. 6 will hurt your car if you follow the video literally. Not by countdown, not by verdict. I'm walking through them by the material family they're actually trying to affect. Rubber and polymer, chemical cleaners, behaviors and techniques. A minute on why so many viral car hacks come from the same source and produce the same failure pattern. Every viral hack has 3 parts. 1. Someone's grandfather or uncle used to do it, and it worked. 2. The person doing it in the video shot the demo on a car that either doesn't have the failure mode yet, or is the specific old vehicle where it actually works. 3. The algorithm spreads it to millions of viewers driving very different cars. There's a 4th part that's newer. Short-form video platforms reward demonstrations that show an immediate visible result. A wet black tire, a clear headlight, a silent hinge, a fizzing battery terminal. The failure modes for most of the bad hacks on this list don't show up for 2 weeks to 18 months, which means the failure never appears in the comments under the video that recommended it. Somebody who has a cracked sidewall in 2026 from shoe polish they applied in 2024 is not going back to find that specific video and posting an update. The engagement loop rewards the demo and hides the consequence. Multiply that by 10 million views and you get the pattern I've been writing repair bills for. 2 things change over decades that break the inheritance: automotive materials and automotive electronics. 1958. Your pedal pads were natural rubber, vulcanized to a steel core. Your tire sidewalls were natural rubber with carbon black filler. Your dashboard was painted metal, no plastic. Your paint was single-stage lacquer, Vaseline, shoe polish, olive oil on those materials. All worked because the chemistry was compatible. 2025, your pedal pad is EPDM synthetic rubber or TPE thermoplastic elastomer. Your tire sidewall is butyl rubber with a plasticizer, antioxidant, and UV inhibitor package balanced across the tire's 10-year life. Your dashboard is ABS, or polycarbonate plastic, with a UV-stabilized, soft-touch coating. Your paint is a 2-stage urethane base coat with a UV-blocking clear coat sealed over it. Applying 1958 solutions to 2025 materials produces predictable damage that isn't visible for 2 weeks to 6 months. But it's damage. Same for electronics. Modern vehicles have factory features, power window learning cycles, cargo hooks, hidden storage compartments that don't exist on the car in your father's driveway from 1992. Some good viral hacks are just people rediscovering factory features their owner's manual documents on page 142. Some bad viral hacks are carburetor-era myths that no longer apply to a modern fuel-injected car. 3 families: rubber and polymer chemistry, chemical cleaners, and behaviors and techniques. Starting with the family that got me in Bakersfield. Hack 1. Rubber and polymer family. Black shoe polish on tire sidewalls for that wet black shine. Modern tire sidewalls are butyl rubber with a plasticizer, antioxidant, and UV inhibitor package balanced for the tire's life. Shoe polish contains petroleum distillates, waxes, and pigment solvents that migrate into the sidewall and displace the tire's own antioxidant package. 12 to 18 months out, fine hairline cracks appear at the sidewall shoulder where the tire flexes hardest. At about 1/8 of an inch crack depth, the sidewall is not safe at highway speed. Replacement, $180 to $320 per tire. 3 customers this year came in with cracked sidewalls that traced back to shoe polish. 1 replaced all 4 tires at $640. Right product. Water-based tire dressing made for automotive rubber. Meguiar's Endurance. Chemical Guys Tire Shine. Armor All Extreme. $10 to $15 for a bottle that lasts a year. Water-based silicone, compatible with butyl. Don't put shoe polish on tires. Hack 2. Vaseline on brake, clutch, or gas pedal pads to restore factory grip and finish. This is the hack that caused my Bakersfield near miss. Pedal pads on modern vehicles are EPDM or TPE, engineered specifically for the friction coefficient your foot needs, formulated with an antioxidant package to hold that friction over a decade. Vaseline coating does 2 things. Short-term, first day, reduces the effective friction coefficient dramatically. Exactly what I found at Ming in California. Even without water on the sole of your boot, a Vaseline-coated pedal feels slick. Add rain, snow, mud, no grip. Second problem is chronic. Petroleum molecules migrate into the EPDM over weeks, pull out the antioxidant, and the pedal pad hardens and eventually cracks. Right answer. If your pedal pads look worn, replace them. $10 to $50 for OEM. Snaps on. Don't polish them. Don't condition them. Don't rub anything on them. Their factory finish is engineered for grip. Hack 3. Olive oil, cooking oil, or coconut oil on the dashboard to condition the plastic and restore that rich, dark finish. Dashboards are ABS or polycarbonate with a soft-touch UV-stabilized coating. Olive oil is a food-grade fat that oxidizes on contact with air within days. Rich, dark finish goes to sticky-tacky within a week, then dust-attracting film within 2. Then, the part nobody sees on the video, the oil breaks down through auto-oxidation into aldehydes and free fatty acids that attack the plasticizers in the top layer of the coating. 6 to 12 months of repeated application, the coating hardens, dulls, and develops the fine surface cracking you see on old dashboards left in the sun. That's not sun damage, that's accumulated oil damage. Rancid smell in the cabin doesn't help either. Right product, automotive interior dressing. 303 Aerospace Protectant, Meguiar's Interior Detailer, Chemical Guys. $10 to $20 for a bottle that treats a full interior twice. If the dashboard is already cracked from years of the oil trick, professional refinish, $600 to $1,200, or an aftermarket cover for $150. Hack 4. WD-40 into hidden body cavities, inside rocker panels, inside door frames, along the underside of the trunk floor, as long-term rust prevention on older vehicles. Mixed. Short-term, WD-40 does displace water and put down a light oil film, but the film is designed to evaporate. Under a car in a real environment, road spray, temperature swings, humidity cycling, the WD-40 film is gone within a month. Long-term rust protection from an evaporating oil is not a real thing. Right product, fluid film. Lanolin-based, wax consistency, stays put, reactivates in the presence of moisture. $18 an aerosol can that treats a full underbody and hidden cavities once a year. In Salt Belt states, this is standard. Untreated interior sections that have been rusting under what used to be WD-40 run $500 to $2,000 to remediate at a body shop. Hack 5. Generic drugstore or dollar store tire dressing sprays to make sidewalls look freshly detailed. Same chemistry problem as shoe polish, different failure mode. Cheap petroleum-based tire dressing sprays contain aromatic solvents and untested petroleum blends that migrate into the sidewall the same way. Same cracking cascade 12 to 18 months out. Read the label. If it says water-based or silicone-based or safe for tires, it's likely compatible. If it doesn't say any of that, or the ingredients list petroleum distillates in the top 3, put it back on the shelf. Same alternatives as Hack 1, $10 to $15. One correct product for the life of your tires. Family 1 summary. 4 of 5 bad. Pedals, tires, dashboard, cheap dressings. 1 mixed. WD-40 in body cavities. Replace with fluid film. The pattern. Anywhere on the car where the material is modern synthetic rubber or polymer, an unformulated household or dollar store product does short-term visible good and long-term chemical damage. Every time. Now the second family is where the algorithm gets clever. Family 2. Chemical cleaners is where the video demos look like magic because chemistry is doing something visible in the frame. Fizzing, dissolving, brightening. Here's what 15 years of writing repair bills tells me. The exact hack that looks most satisfying on camera is usually the one where the receipt shows up 18 months later. 2 of the 6 damaging hacks on my full list live in this family. Family 2. Chemical cleaners, where kitchen and bathroom products meet automotive paint, glass, and metal. Hack 1. Chemical family. Baking soda paste for removing tree sap, bird droppings, and light stains from painted surfaces. Good news, this works, and I use it myself. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, hardness about 2.5 on the Mohs scale, softer than automotive clear coat. The paste physically removes the stain material sitting on top of the paint without scratching the clear coat underneath. Especially effective on the alkaline residue from bird droppings that eats into paint if left more than a day. 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a splash of water, thumb and microfiber technique, rinse. $2 for a box that treats a full car's worth of stains for a year. Beats a $200 detail every time. Hack 2. Cola or a similar soft drink poured over corroded battery terminals to dissolve the corrosion. Recommended on YouTube every summer. Cola is acidic, corrosion is alkaline, so the acid dissolves the corrosion. That part is technically true. Phosphoric acid in cola reacts with the alkaline sulfate crust and fizzes it away. Impressive demo. The problem is what's left after the fizz stops. Phosphoric acid on lead battery posts and aluminum clamps produces lead phosphate and aluminum phosphate residue that isn't visible but conducts moisture and continues eating the base metal underneath. And the sugar caramelizes on the next hot day and traps humidity between the clamp and the post. 12 months out, terminal corrosion returns worse than before. New terminal, $60 to $150. Battery replacement if the damage went into the post itself, $150 to $300. Right product, a proper terminal cleaner spray, wire brush, then dielectric grease. $15 total, 5-year fix. Don't pour a beverage on your battery. Hack 3. Toothpaste plus car wax for yellowed, oxidized plastic headlights. Mixed. Toothpaste contains titanium dioxide, silica, and other microabrasives that polish the top layer of oxidized polycarbonate. Applied with a microfiber and elbow grease, you can measurably improve clarity for 4 to 8 weeks. Then it clouds again because you polished off the oxidized layer but didn't replace the UV protective coating the factory put on originally. The car wax on top is not a UV sealer. If you have hazy headlights and a state inspection tomorrow, toothpaste for a temporary bump, sure. If you want 3 to 5 years, proper restoration kit from 3M or Sylvania, $30 to $40. Wet sanding and 4 progressive grits, buffing compound, UV clear coat sealer. 2 hours of work, 30 times the toothpaste lifespan. Hack 4. White vinegar mixed with water as a cheap windshield cleaner. Mixed, and this caveat is important, on plain automotive glass with no tint film. Vinegar solution, roughly 1 part vinegar to 3 parts water, is a fine cleaner. Cheap, streak-free with a microfiber wipe. On tinted rear windows, side windows with aftermarket tint, or a windshield with a heads-up display film, vinegar is a problem. Acetic acid can migrate through the edge of the tint film over repeated exposure and etch or lift the film adhesive underneath. Damage is invisible for months and then shows up as bubbling or edge lifting. Retinting affected windows runs $200 to $400 per pair. If you have any tint on any window, use a proper ammonia-free glass cleaner labeled Tint Safe. Sprayway or Meguiar's glass cleaner, $6 a bottle. On plain windshields with no film, vinegar solution is fine. Hack 5. Dish soap as a cheap engine bay degreaser. Bad. Dish soap is designed to strip grease and oil from dinner plates, a very aggressive surfactant. Sprayed into an engine bay, it strips the greasy grime, and the bay looks great for the video. What you can't see is that dish soap also strips the waxy protective coatings manufacturers apply to wiring harness insulation, connector boot seals, and rubber grommets around the firewall. Those coatings are the only thing keeping water out of certain connectors. Come winter, salt water intrusion hits the newly bare connectors, corrodes the pins from the inside out. Intermittent electrical faults over the following 6 months. Check engine lights, ABS lights, sensor codes that come and go. Diagnosis and repair runs $200 to $800. Right product, purpose-made engine bay degreaser. Simple Green, CRC engine degreaser. Meguiar's engine bay cleaner, $10 to $12. Family 2 summary. Baking soda good. Toothpaste and vinegar mixed. Cola and dish soap damaging. Same pattern. If the household product's chemistry doesn't match what the car uses in that spot, damage happens over months. Family 3. Behaviors and techniques. No chemistry, just habits. This family has the best good news and one of the most stubborn myths on the internet. Hack 1. Factory power window reset with a button hold procedure. Genuinely good. Almost every car built in the last 15 years has a documented power window learning procedure that resets the window's up-down memory in the door module. General pattern. Ignition to accessory. Roll the window all the way down. Hold the button down 2 extra seconds. Roll it all the way up. Hold the button up 2 extra seconds. Release. Resets the pinch sensor calibration and clears a slow-moving window fault on most Fords, GMs, Toyotas, Nissans. Cost, 0. Time, 30 seconds. If the motor is dead, the reset won't fix it. But if the window is fighting you, try the reset before you spend $350 on a regulator. Hack 2. Factory cargo hooks in your trunk for grocery bags. Genuinely good. Cost zero because they came with the car. Almost every modern trunk has factory hooks, usually 2 on the rear panel near the top of the trunk lid opening, sometimes 2 on the sides. Most owners never notice them. Loop the bag handles over the hooks. Bags stay upright through cornering. No rolled cans across the trunk floor. Unknown factory feature. Look for them after the next grocery run. If your car doesn't have them, aftermarket clip-ons run $6 to $8. Skip the $60 organizer. Hack 3. Slow gas fill on the lowest pump speed to avoid drawing bottom sediment from the underground station tank. Myth from an older era. Underground fuel tanks at every U.S. gas station, built or renovated since the mid-90s, are lined with a sand and gravel filter layer at the bottom, and the fuel pickup for the pump is positioned above that layer. Any sediment stays trapped below the pickup and never reaches the nozzle. Fuel is delivered clean, regardless of pump speed. Traces to a pre-1980 era when some tanks were single-wall steel with no filter design and did accumulate sediment. Modern station, slow filling accomplishes nothing except making you sit at the pump for 6 minutes instead of 3. Doesn't hurt your car, doesn't help, just wastes time. Hack 4. A copper penny or coin edge to remove light surface rust from small spots on a body panel. Mixed. Depends heavily on how careful you are. On a flat area of bare metal, a paint chip that's rusted at the exposed spot, a penny edge can gently scrape off surface rust without gouging the metal underneath. Copper is softer than steel, works as a scraper without damaging the substrate. Follow up with primer and touch-up paint. Failure mode is the edges of the paint chip. Copper against the surrounding clear coat scratches through it at the edge and expands the damage. You've now got a bigger area to touch up. $50 to $200 at a body shop if you want it to look right. For a small rust spot, use navel jelly on a cotton swab, $8 for a jar that treats 20 chips. Then prime and touch-up paint. For a stubborn chip, a fine grit sanding pen from a detailer kit gives better edge control. Hack 5. Cat litter to soak up an oil spill on a driveway or garage floor. Genuinely good. Cat litter, cheap clay or clumping, is highly porous and absorbs oil, transmission fluid, coolant, or brake fluid from concrete or asphalt within a couple of hours. Thick layer over a fresh stain. Sit overnight, sweep in the morning. $8 for a bag that handles a dozen driveway stains. Skip this and let oil set into concrete. Professional seal coating to hide the stain runs $150 to $400. Fresh oil becomes permanent oil within about 72 hours as it penetrates the concrete. Skip the expensive absorbents at the auto parts store. Same clay, 4 times the price. Family 3 summary. Window reset. Trunk hooks. Cat litter. 3 genuinely good. Copper penny mixed. Careful only. Slow gas fill, a persistent myth. 15 hacks. 3 families. 4 good. 5 mixed. 6 damaging. The 1-2-3 rule for judging any car hack you see next week, because there will be another 15 next month, and you can't memorize every one. 1. Chemistry match. Does the household product's chemistry belong to the same family as what the car uses in that spot? Silicone on synthetic rubber. Same family. Compatible. Petroleum jelly on EPDM. Different families will migrate and damage. If you don't know the chemistry, 10 seconds on a phone to look up what the OEM specs for that surface. 2. Short duration. Is the effect designed to work in minutes to days, or are you counting on it as a permanent replacement for the correct product? Baking soda paste to lift bird droppings. Minutes, right duration. WD-40 as long-term corrosion prevention. Months, wrong duration. 3. Bounded failure cost. If the hack fails, what does it cost? Baking soda paste fails. $2 box of baking soda. Vaseline on pedals fails. Potential accident. Cola on battery fails. $300 battery 12 months later. All 3 pass. Hack is worth trying. Any one fails. Don't do it. That's the whole framework. Worked example. Suppose next month you see a video recommending you use hair conditioner as a cheap engine coolant additive to prevent rust in the radiator. Sounds plausible. Hair conditioner is silicone-based. Radiators can rust. Silicone coats metal. Apply the rule. Chemistry match. Hair conditioner also contains fatty alcohols, cationic surfactants, and preservatives formulated for keratin protein, none of which are compatible with the aluminum radiator core, the copper brass core plates, the rubber coolant hoses, or the water pump seal. Fails at step 1. Stop there. Don't need to check steps 2 and 3. The correct product is a proper radiator rust inhibitor from a coolant additive line at any auto parts store. $7. The framework held. That's the point of the framework. You don't need to know the specific damage cascade for every wrong chemistry combination. You just need to notice when the chemistry doesn't match and stop. Fast cost math across these 15. The 6 damaging hacks would run a typical owner between $2,500 and $8,000 aggregate over 3 or 4 years if applied to a normal car. Shoe polish tires, $640. Vaseline pedals, $42 plus potential accident damage. Olive oil dashboard, $600 to $1,200. Cola terminals, $150 to $300. Dish soap engine bay, $200 to $800. Slow gas fill, 4 minutes per fill wasted. The 4 genuinely good hacks save you $200 to $400 total. Do the good ones, don't do the bad ones. Careful with the mixed ones. You're saving thousands over the life of the vehicle. Since Bakersfield in June 2019, I have not put a household product on a pedal, ever. Nothing from my kitchen goes on the dashboard, ever. I check the label on any tire dressing before I use it on my own vehicle. 15 years in the industry, 1 near miss at Ming in California, and I updated my rules the same afternoon. That's what I want for you. 1 shortcut on this list that you were doing without thinking about the chemistry, updated after this video. Just 1. The video did its job. The comment I actually want to hear: what's the worst car hack you've tried on your own vehicle, and what did it cost you to undo it? Not a takedown of who told you, just the specific thing you did, the specific damage, the specific dollar amount. Drop it in the comments. If enough of you send the same hack I didn't cover, that's the next video. If any part of this saved you a set of tires or a windshield, the way this channel keeps going is the subscribe button and a comment about what you drive. Shop's got a Camry that came in this afternoon with a coolant leak, and a Silverado waiting for spark plugs tomorrow. I'll close out the invoicing tonight, put the tools back on the wall, and lock up. 1 oil change tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. before the plugs job. See you then.